Hello fam. Today is Carmen's first brisket. Sylvie's trimming off the fat right now. And I got my rub right here. I got mixed with some black pepper, kosher salt, and some seasoned salt. Once Sylvie gets done trimming off the fat, right there, I will season my brisket and I will throw it on the grill and I will get my spritzer ready to spritz every 1 hour. A brisket takes about 12 hours. Right now it's 9 o'clock in the morning, so I will be videotaping all day, and the brisket will be done around 9 p.m. It has to rest for about 2.5 hours, and then I will put it in the refrigerator and we will have brisket tomorrow for dinner. Alright, I'll be back in a few minutes with part 2. I shouldn't say part 2, with the next step of this brisket smoking. Carmen out. Okay, so we got the brisket all nice and trimmed. We got fat right there, and now I'm about ready to add my rub. Now we are getting the brisket ready to put the seasoning on it. Sylvie is massaging the brisket right now with some butter right there. Actually, we're just putting the butter on it to hold the
it is a massage.
Seasoning, to hold the seasoning. So we're rubbing it down with some butter. You could use butter or you could use oil, from my understanding from watching YouTube. So I'll be back with the next step. Okay, now we're adding the rub, and I told you the rub is a mixture of black pepper, kosher salt, and seasoned salt. So we got one side done, and now we're doing the other. We're holding it up high and we're sprinkling the rub on the whole on the whole brisket. So once we get this here done, we'll be ready to I'm gonna let this sit for about 30 minutes so the rub can soak in, and then I'm going to put this on the smoker. Okay, we got the brisket all seasoned up. Like I said, the seasoning we used was a mixture of seasoned salt, black pepper, ground black pepper, and kosher salt. And I got the smoker set for 225. My instruction says to let the brisket sit for about 30 minutes so that the seasoning can soak into the brisket. Once I get that done, I'll go ahead and put it on the smoker with a pan of warm water to keep the moisture in the brisket and to frisk the brisket every 60 minutes. As you can see, the fat's over there in the container. We're going to take the fat, we're going to put it in the pot, put some salt in it, we're going to let it boil like that, and we will use that juice. After the brisket cooks for 9 hours, I'm going to wrap the brisket in foil, and I'm going to use the juice from the fat, put it in the foil, and then let it cook for another 4 hours. Okay. Okay, here's the brisket. I'm putting it in the smoker now, as you can see. And I got my brisket in here. I got my pot on the bottom with some moisture, with some water, with some salt in it, and a little bit of lemon juice. Okay, now we're getting started. I'm gonna close the smoker, and the clock starts now. It is 9:30. So we'll be back in a few hours. Okay, the brisket is on the smoker, and right now we're taking, based on watching YouTube, we're taking the fat and we're mincing it up, and we're gonna put it in a pot, and we're gonna boil the fat, and we're gonna use the juice for after the brisket is cooked for 10 hours. And we're gonna wrap the brisket in foil, and we're gonna pour this juice that we've cooking down from the fat onto the brisket to keep the moisture of the brisket, to keep the brisket moist. Okay, I missed a couple steps on this here. It's my first brisket that I'm doing right now. It's 12:50 at night. It's been like almost 14 hours out there, so I missed a couple steps. I didn't videotape it. So right now I got my parchment paper over my thing, over my brisket. Right now I'm going to wrap it and put it in my cooler and let it rest for like 3.5 hours. So I'm going to put it in the cooler and let it sit all night. And I will slice it up tomorrow, and I will share the results tomorrow. All right, good night. Okay, I'm going to let it rest. And I got it in the cooler. Got my towel over top of it. Put a little more juice over top of it. I'm going to let it rest for the rest of the evening. And we'll get back tomorrow morning and I'll slice it and we'll see how it turned out. All right. Okay, here we are the next day. I let the brisket cook for 14 hours right there, and then I put it in the cooler with a towel and let it sit all evening. And I woke up this morning and I put the brisket in the oven to heat it up a little bit, and now we're slicing it right now, and it looked like the brisket came out perfectly. Not sure how many more times I'll be doing this here because this process took a long time. But we will be having brisket for dinner today. It is now approximately 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So right now I have my wife cutting it up. All right, it looks good. It tastes fantastic. Looked like the brisket turned out perfectly. All right, until the next one.